Snapchat if you guys aren't already following me on there. I do these once a week to every other week is what my plan is going to be going in the future, so make sure you guys follow me on there if you aren't already. So I had quite a bit of questions, so if I don't get to your question, hit me back up next week and we will get to your question then. Like I said, I'm going to be doing those on the weekly, so make sure you guys hit me up with you guys' questions when you guys see that I'm going to be doing a Q&A for the YouTube. The first question we're going to be answering is, how are you adjusting to the new setting and surroundings of Florida? As everyone knows, or maybe you don't know, I just moved to Florida not too long ago, and I'm actually really liking it. I'm 15 minutes from Blackstone Labs warehouse, you know, and there's some great gyms around here, right next to the beach, you know, less than a couple miles from the beach, and it's awesome. You know, I really do like it. It's a lot different. I do miss my homies and my family back in Texas, but you know, hopefully they'll come visit me, and you know, I like it out here so far. So the next question is, what was the toughest obstacle to overcome while trying to prep for a show as a teenager? And this is actually a really good question. As everyone knows, I prepped for 3 teenage nationals while I was still in high school. So believe it or not, I was actually, take that back, 2. The last one I was in college, but 2 of them I was in high school. And you know, my diet had to be on point 100%. So you know, of course, I was in class and things like that. I was eating fish. I was doing whatever I could. Sometimes I had to eat between class. So I would say the biggest obstacle being a teenager is 1, being in school, because most everyone is in school if you're, you know, 17, 18, 19 years old. Because the schedule, you know, some teachers don't let you eat in class, things like that. And 2, a lot of, you know, teenagers don't have a lot of money. You know, and food's expensive. You know, supplements are expensive, gym memberships are expensive, so everything adds up. I think that's the 2 biggest obstacles, you know, if you are a teen bodybuilder that you're going to be facing. But you know, you can overcome it. It's just going to be a matter of adapting and overcoming the circumstance, but you can definitely do it. So the next one, how do you feel for a show, especially the last 4 weeks? What goes through your mind and what keeps you pushing? So for me, like the last 4 weeks, of course you're going to be feeling like, you know, real bad, to put it in good terms. You're going to be feeling like pretty crappy, and you should be feeling pretty bad. You know, everyone says, you know, the worse you look, the better you're gonna, or the worse you feel, the better you look. And you know, that goes most of the time very true. Don't always take that to your heart though. But I would say the last 4 weeks get a little bit easier for me. I know you're feeling like crap, and you're going to be feeling like even more crappy every day. But you kind of start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for me, and that's when I start getting you know, a little bit more pep in my step and a little bit more hungry. You know, I can kind of taste the you know, what's around the corner, so I'm that much hungrier each day. Instead of like, you know, 8 or 9 weeks out, where you're kind of stagnant place as far as you still got like a couple of months. That's still a long ways, but in reality, you still got to work really hard in that in the now. But it's like it's not going to be tomorrow. So the last 4 weeks, that's why it's a little bit. You know, for me, I turned up a little bit. And you know, the last 4 weeks will make it or break it. The next one is, what's the best thing to snack on while bulking? Depending, I would say if I had to pick one thing to tell you to go snack on in a bulk, I would say almonds. You know, almonds are extremely, you know, beneficial. Not just, you know, they have pretty dense calories, they have a good amount of fat, but they have protein. It's an all around, you know, good snack, and you can of course, you know, have that wherever. And you don't have to keep them refrigerated, you know, and things like that. So it's easy. And really, they're good for bulking. You know, they got some calories in there to help bulk you up. So, you know, almonds are a very good snack. Will you ever be having a meetup in New York, like a training with Cody? You know, I hope to. I hope to get up to New York soon. I've been wanting to for a while. Bev's gym is on my bucket list, so hopefully I get up there in the next year or 2, and maybe even have a little training with Cody session. So. You never know, so make sure to stay tuned and be on the lookout for that. I want to definitely get some pizza up there, that's on my list. What tips do you have to build a bigger chest? Flies, I would say flies. Honestly, I haven't done enough in the past, and this year I've been doing a lot of flies. I've noticed a difference for sure. But I would also say, really think about what you're doing in the movement, not just using you know, your shoulders or triceps. Think about pushing with your chest. You know, if you're doing a chest press, make sure the first thing that moves is your you know, your pec engaging. the muscle, you know, and you should feel that. It shouldn't be this motion with your elbow, you know. It should be with your pec first, or, you know, vice versa. If you're doing a back pull, if you're doing a lat pull, I mean, same kind of deal. You want to feel like you're pulling with your lat first and not pulling, you know, your bicep back first, which would, because you're just gonna put the emphasis on whatever muscle is engaged first, which in theory, you know, if you're saying, okay, here, I'm gonna try to push it with my chest, you're gonna engage a lot more at chest than you would, you know, using, like I said, that extra motion that's not needed, and just brings in other muscles and secondary muscles that, you know, aren't needed in that exercise for what you're trying to do if you're trying to do something specific for your chest. I'm a little raspy. Like I said, I've been under the weather and I'm just trying to get this video out for you guys. So I'm doing the best I can. The next question, is it possible to make your lats longer, or is it purely genetics? If so, what's the best way to do it? A lot of it does have to do with genetics. You know, some people have, you know, really high lat insertions, some people have really low lat insertions. But I will say, if you want to try to bring up your lower lats and have, you know, the lowest insert possible, or the best look possible for that, I would say try to do some like some low rows with the dumbbell. Try to pull more towards your waist than up towards your chest, and that's going to engage more of your lower lat. You can also think about doing an underhand like row. You know, from a cable even. I actually really like those. Think about doing like a cable pull down, but instead of being overhand, you're gonna be underhand. And that's really just gonna help stretch your lower lat and help bring that out. But definitely you can help bring up your lower lats, but I think a lot of it does happen to do with genetics. But obviously you can make that better by attacking it in the gym. No excuses. That's gonna wrap up this Q&A video. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in, asking away all these questions. And like I said, if I didn't get to your question this week, I will get to it next week. So hit me back up with you guys' questions on Snapchat next week. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel below. I would really appreciate it. I'll be putting out lots more content in the near future. And make sure you guys hit me up with what you guys want to see next as far as video ideas. Until next video, peace out.